So, even though I didn't maybe go to the best high school in the world, I did enjoy my time for the most part. I made a lot of great friends and great memories. But I was just kind of thinking about it the other night, and I came up with 10 things that I absolutely despised about my high school. And I'm sure you probably despise about yours. So I figured, hey, maybe you guys can relate, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun just to talk about it and get pissed off together. The first thing that came to my mind were the lazy teachers that I know every school has, and I would have at least one or two every single year that were just there for that little paycheck they get. They could care less. It's obvious that's not what they wanted to do with their life, so now they're kind of taking it out on the students. One that comes to my mind right off the bat was my chemistry teacher. Now, I'll sum up basically every fucking day in that class. It starts off with us walking in, and we do that little Gabe Bellwork shit, which takes about 5 minutes. He grades our homework, which is code for he looks to see if you scribbled something down and he puts a little stamp on it, which isn't bad. I'm not complaining. And then we spend the hour long that we have, because our classes were an hour and a half long. We spend about an hour in length watching the most monotone, boring video that sounds like it comes from the 80s. It's probably all old information that's not even up to date. But if you know that little meme, that pacemaker meme thing.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progresses.
Yeah, it sounded just like that. It put so many people to sleep. If you just randomly looked around the classroom, which I've done before, I've seen like 2 heads up besides myself, and everyone else is just sleeping. And the only reason my head was up was because I'm majoring in a science, so something like chemistry is pretty fucking important. But even for me that absolutely needed it and tries to find the most enjoyment out of science possible, I still put my head down a few times a semester. I won't lie. It was fucking boring. I know this one's going to sound really stupid, but I hate fucking waking up in the morning, you know? I'm not a fucking morning person. I wake up, and my stomach is upset for like 2 hours. I can't eat breakfast because of it. Breakfast! And then I have to get on the fucking road and drive, even though I'm tired. I really wish there were more night classes available, because I would probably take those. I hate the morning. I mean, right now I have a class scheduled for, when the fuck is it? I have it right here. I don't know, it's like fucking 9 o'clock or something, which is not bad. It's not like I'm getting up at fucking 7 o'clock. I'll get up at 8 o'clock. But, yeah, I'm not a fucking morning person. I don't like starting off. I don't feel I'm learning anything in the morning because I'm too focused on being fucking tired. I don't like driving on the road when I'm tired in the morning when there's a bunch of assholes on the road. So, yeah, I don't fucking like that. Lunch can be fucking awkward, man, especially early on. Like, once you kind of get to know everybody, lunch can be great because you can just sit down and fuck around with your friends. But like during that first semester, or if you get transferred to a different lunch, because at my school we had 3 different lunch times, it's fucking awkward because you might not know anyone. And like, if you don't know anyone in a class, it's not a big deal. You can just kind of find an empty seat and fucking go along with it. But with lunch, I mean, you gotta fucking find somewhere to sit, you know? And it's awkward because when you just sit next to somebody and every fucking booth is just filled, if you just sit in like the one empty booth by yourself, everyone's gonna think you're a loner and that you're gonna like shoot up the school or something. So you gotta kind of get somewhat close to somebody, but if you get too close, it's gonna be really personally awkward between the person you're close with and yourself, especially if they're assholes and are like, who the fuck are you? So yeah, lunch can be fucking awkward. Once you find a good group of friends to sit next to, it's not bad. It's really fun. So I would recommend, if you're at school, to make this not shitty for someone else. If you see somebody that doesn't have friends, you know, invite them over. Just say, hey, dude, let's chat about fucking, I don't know. The fourth thing that absolutely pisses me off are those deans that think they're fucking on a SWAT team or something. And we had several of those. They're complete assholes. And they just get so fucking power hungry because they're a gay ass dean. It pissed me off beyond belief because they would roll around and they're like, "What the fuck you doing?" And I'm like, I'm just getting water." "Well, you need to pass the BL." And then the water fountain's like 2 fucking feet from the classroom. No one cares. The teacher tells you you can do it. So deans, I'm sure there's at least a few. There might be cool deans out there, but the vast majority are just power hungry fucks that are interested in doing something to entertain their fucking boring lives while they're at school, which includes harassing the students for bullshit rules. Which brings me to my 5th point. The stupid rules they have at our school. For example, at my high school, my senior year, we were allowed to have our phones out in the morning and we could play on them, whatever. But during lunch, where you have all this fucking awkwardness, you're not allowed to have your phones out. It makes no sense. You're not in class. Why can't you just have it out? You're not in class in the morning. It's the same concept. Probably one of the stupidest rules, and there's so many other dumb ones that make absolutely no sense. I'm sure you guys know of some stupid rule that you could share with in the comments because I'm quite interested to hear them. But there's so many stupid rules that are probably buried so far in the code of conduct, yet these deans with nothing better to do decides they're going to actually dig into it and find the littlest fucking thing to get you on. The next type of teacher, I guess, that pisses me off are the creepy ones. And I'm sure somebody's had creepy teachers before. If you haven't, which is possible, I'm glad. I've had one, but I've known of another at my school. The first one would have been my freshman year, I believe, and there was a teacher that got in trouble for looking up certain things on the internet. Now, he did that in the middle of class. He couldn't wait till he got home. He couldn't even wait till the class was empty. Literally, in the middle of teaching a lesson, this fucker had porn on his laptop. And my grandma actually worked at the school, and she even told me, like, every time she would walk in there to, like, talk to him, because her classroom was right next to his, he would, like, close his laptop, the screen thing down, which is a little suspicious, but she thought he just had grades up, and he's got to keep that shit confidential. But it's just so creepy that this dude is fucking watching porn in the middle of a lesson. It's like, what? The other one I actually had was my junior year. Oh my god, this guy was so fucking creepy. And he was known for being creepy. Everyone knew he was creepy. The students, the guidance counselor even told me he was creepy. Everyone knew he was a creep. In fact, the year I had him, the year prior, he was under investigation for inappropriate shit he did with a student. So he didn't teach the year before. Then he comes back and he's teaching junior English, which is what I had him for. And I also had him for study hall. Now, the thing with study hall is it kind of meshes a whole bunch of different grades together. And it's kind of weird. And there were a ton of freshmen in my study hall, which he appeared to really like, because there was one part, it was so fucking awkward, I just wanted to fucking shoot myself. He was standing in his little chair, right? Or not standing in it, sitting in his chair. And he's kind of got his legs spread open. And he's talking to this freshman that he kind of hits on randomly. And he's leaning back, and he's got a fucking boner right there, exposing it. Like he's showing it off. And it was just so creepy. I'm like, oh, I left class. I'm not going to fucking sit in there. That was so creepy and awkward, and it was with like a 14-year-old girl, and I was a senior at the time. I was 17. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. It was so creepy. I might do a story just on him because he did other creepy shit that just is like, ugh. So, yeah, if you guys want to know more about him, I might do a video about that in the future. Now, most people absolutely hate the jocks at the school, right? They don't like the jocks. Personally, I didn't have a problem with them. Most of them were actually cool, and yeah, I didn't have a problem. I played sports on the for the school, and none of them were that bad. What was bad were the teachers that used to be jocks and are now teaching as if they are coaching a football team. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. They treat everything like it's a sports metaphor. They think everything is just fucking yell at the students or some shit and be fucking hard on them so they can be ready for the game. It is annoying because not even the fucking jocks today act like that, and they're fucking in their 50s and they still act like that. They're not fucking grown up yet. School in terms of entertainment, there's nothing really to do in my town in terms of entertainment. We have a few movie theaters, a couple bowling alleys, we have a mall that's absolute shit, and that's about it. So there's kind of like this underground fighting thing they do at the school where they're not even necessarily pissed at each other. Sometimes they are, but other times they just fucking fight to fight. So that's good entertainment, actually. This isn't something I hate at all. I just wanted to bring it up. The next thing that I dislike about my school would be the people. I absolutely fucking hate the people. Now, I live in Florida, so the people here are really fucking weird in general. And if you've ever been to Florida, you know what I'm talking about. The people are just... they're just fucking strange. I don't like associating myself with them. But the people at the school weren't necessarily weird as much as they were fucking stupid. And I mean, either they're completely fucking stupid, which there were a lot like that, or they're just fucking douchey, or they're just fucking assholes. And I don't like associating with those people. I don't know if you guys kind of had a similar situation or if everyone was just fuck buddies at your school, but I hated those people. Now, the plus of that is it kind of teaches you to appreciate the good friends you do have instead of the fake people at your high school. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of a learning lesson. And the last thing that I dislike about my high school, or did, is how robotic it becomes. Like, it's the same thing every day. Now, for my school, we had A days and B days, and basically you would show up on A day for 4 classes, half an hour, and then you would have 4 other classes on B days that you'd show up for half an hour. So there's a little a variation in there, which kind of kept you on your feet, I guess. But this just how you do it becomes so robotic. You like wake up at the same damn time, leave at the same time, get to school around the same time, go to the same classes. You don't really learn a whole lot, and then you go home at the same time and fucking study just like you were before. It becomes so robotic. I kind of wish they would throw something new in there, even if it's kind of controversial, to like you know, keep you on your feet a little bit. Like maybe you show up one time and you have a total pedophile teacher, right? So now you have to kind of handle that situation. Or maybe there's a you know, they do like a fake little a school shooting, but it's not actually a school shooting, but they just do that to keep you on your feet. So I don't know, just some thoughts. All in all, I actually really liked high school. I can't complain. I just, for whatever reason, found a list of a bunch of stuff that I don't like and decided why not make a list about it. Maybe you guys can kind of relate. And yeah, I'm kind of curious what you guys thought of it, and tell me about your high school experience. I can kind of go in more detail. I know I talked about the creepy teacher thing, and I have legitimate stories about that if you guys are interested. But be sure to subscribe by hitting the little subscribe thing below. Same thing with the like button to let me know you liked it. Share it with your friends. You know, your friends probably can relate to this, so be sure they see it. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that shit. Alright, I'm not going to promote myself and whore myself out too much. You guys know the deal. I will be back with a prank call soon. I wanted to test out my new mic here. I'm really liking it. So let me know when you guys like the mic. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys soon. I heard some interesting noises. I think a guy was self-pleasuring in there. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm a little concerned, which is why we ended up leaving.